Have you ever had a situation where somebody tells you, I really like your product, or I really want to become your customer, but your price is too expensive? Too expensive. I'm sure you've had that before if you've been in business for quite some time. In fact, you're going to be hearing more of it as the economy becomes tougher and people's budgets, shrink. People are looking for a bargain these days. So you need to get ready for it, which is why I'm making this video to my constituency of business owners and entrepreneurs. Your product is too expensive. Your service is too expensive. The unfortunate reaction that many people have to your product is too expensive is to instantly, many times without even thinking, to offer a discount. Okay, I'm going to remove 20%. Or okay, come, customer, come. Let me give you a discount. The easiest way out of that situation is to offer a discount. And unfortunately, that is a wrong way to go about it in many situations. I'm not saying discounts are bad, but that shouldn't be your first line of attack. It's like you're bringing out your last card and you're playing it as your first card. There are other things you can do before you offer a discount. The discount should be at the back of the office. It's one of the last things that you play. So what can you play when people tell you your product, your service, whatever it is that you sell, that it's expensive? Like I always do, I'm a teacher, so I want you to understand where this is coming from. And the reason I have this approach is that many people who listen to me, who watch my videos, are running all kinds of businesses, right? And my philosophy is, if you understand the first principle of what you're dealing with, whether you sell palm oil or you sell sophisticated financial advisory, no matter the kind of business you run, if you understand the first principles, you will be able to adapt to that situation, because entrepreneurs are very creative. So I don't want to think for you. I just want to give you the guardrails that will help you overcome this problem. Now, to understand your product is too expensive, what is going on is that the word expensive is a relative term. Expensive is a relative term. What it means is that I am comparing you to something and it appears your price is higher. Expensive does not exist on its own. That person, that potential customer is comparing you to something. That is why you are expensive. That is why you are more pricey. You remember in school, pricey, more pricey, most pricey. So you are more pricey. You are expensive because that person is comparing you to someone or something. And actually, there are 4 potential comparisons that you're being compared to in that person's head. Sometimes these comparisons happen within 2 seconds, or it might take some time. But essentially, there are four potential benchmarks that person is comparing you to, and that is why you seem expensive. The first is that they are comparing you to what they can afford, their budget, their pockets. Based on their budget, your price is higher than their budget, so you are expensive. So compared to their budget, you've come out on top, so that's why you are more expensive. The second thing you may be compared against is your competitors. So you tell them the price and instantly, because they know that other shop or this other person sells for this price, your price is higher than your competitors. That is why you are expensive, because compared to all these other people, you are expensive. I'm also going to come back and explain and teach you how you can address these issues for each of these comparators. The third is that the person is comparing you to their assumption of what the value of the value of the thing that you sell. So people have assumptions of the value they will get from something. So based on the assumption, is it not food? Is it not dry cleaning? Why is your price? Is it not just to clean? That's what they're doing in their head. They're comparing you to their perception or assumption of the value you should offer them. So is it not just why are you more expensive? They're comparing you to those assumptions. The fourth thing they could be comparing you to is the cost of the problem. So somebody is going through a problem and they think in their head, it shouldn't cost so much to solve this problem. And you tell them your price and they're like, compared to this problem, why are you expensive? After all, this problem is not costing me much. This problem is only costing me 1 million naira every month. And here you are offering me a product of 10 million naira to solve a 1 million naira problem. It doesn't make any sense. I'm having my problems. I value my problems at, say, I'm having a problem of $1,000. And this thing you are selling to me to solve this problem, you are selling it as $15,000. It doesn't make any sense. Why would the solution cost more than the problem you're trying to solve. So these are the ways people will likely compare you, and this is where the term but why you expect, I really want to buy this thing, I really like your product, I like your service, I've heard a lot about you, but you're expensive. These are the four places it can come from. They may be comparing you to your potential competitors. They may be comparing you to their budget. They may be comparing you to their assumptions of value, or they may be comparing you to the cost of the problem that they think they have. So let me start to hit on each of them. When people compare you to their budget, what do? Do you just instantly give them a discount so that you can fit into their budget? Like I said, it's an option. Unfortunately, it's the most popular option that people pull out without even exploring other options. One way to look at it is this. You have a budget, I have my price, and that price is based on the value I can give you, on how I can solve your problem, meet your need, and eventually, more or less, you get what you want. But it appears your budget is below the price. We're not talking discounts now. I have another product, not this one, that is tailored for people with your budget. So with the budget you have, I have a product, a scaled down version that matches your budget, but you cannot buy this one. So at that point, people are afraid of using this tactic because they're like, of course, then the person will say, but this is the one I want. When you do that, when you tell people you can't get this one because of the price, there is another one below that one that matches your budget. Either of two things will happen. It's either the person starts to see that product they have their eyes on as an aspirational product. You know, people like things they cannot get. When something is out of reach, that is when it becomes more attractive. So it's not that other one that I want this one. So by making available an alternative, you have instantly increased the value of that particular one that person wants. You see what's going on here? So that's one thing that could happen. It could end up becoming an aspirational product to say, I don't have the budget for this now, I cannot afford it. Even though there's another product that I can afford, I don't want that one, I want this other one. So what they can do if it's aspirational, which is the second thing they can do, is they may go and look for the money. I'm sure you know of people who, based on their income, they shouldn't have an iPhone because they cannot afford an iPhone. But they have an iPhone. Do you know how that happened? They made sacrifices. They went and found the money. They borrowed the money. They did something, some kind of magic. They concocted something and the money came out. This is somebody who rationally should not be able to afford it. It happens for products like the iPhone. It happens for cosmetic products. For women, maybe hair extensions. It happens. For men, it could be like a car or something. When something becomes aspirational, people reach above and beyond their budget to get it. But in this case, right, you have to offer people, you cannot force people to buy what you want to sell to them. You have to, so okay, so the issue is that it is expensive because of your budget, right? I have something else I can sell to you. In my line of business, it's either you can afford it or you get it. You will not get exactly that thing for free. That's why I offer a lot of free materials. And I mainly do this for people who cannot yet afford my service. Because what it does is that when you benefit from the free resources I've given you, and you apply it and you get results, guess what happens? 6 months down the line, 3 months down the line, 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, you then become somebody who can afford my service. That's how it works. For some other businesses, they have another product that is at a lower price but can match your budget. So these are ways you can play it. We're not talking discount here, because by discount, I've seen situations where the person can afford it, but it's a negotiating gambit. It's a bargaining tactic. They just want to see whether they can get a discount. And they're like, it's above my budget. Okay, if it's above your budget, I have a scaled down version you can use, but you can't get this one. And then when you do that, I've just explained to you what could happen. It can turn out to be an aspirational buy for that person, or the person would expand that budget and go and look for the money. Because it happens with a couple of other projects, a couple of other products I just told you about, the iPhone, things that you see people who this product is well above what you can afford, but they make sacrifices and they go and get it. Imagine iPhone saying, we know you cannot afford an iPhone, so let's give you a discount. Apple doesn't give discounts. It's either you can afford it or you cannot. If you cannot afford the iPhone, you go and buy a refurbished one, or you buy an older model. Apple is not going to give you a discount just because you cannot afford it. So if Apple cannot do it and they are a thoroughly successful company, I do not encourage you to just run to discounts as your first line of action. No, like I said, a discount is something you hold in your back pocket. And the things I'm teaching you are things you should be holding on the table, in your hands, and in your front pockets. You should hardly bring out a discount. It's only when the matter has become tough. Like my Nigerian people will say, when the matter don't hard, that's when you pull out the discount. The discount should not be front and center. The second reason why you are too expensive, like I told you, is what? Your competitors. Now, I want you to look at it from the perspective of a potential customer. If what you sell is exactly like what your competitors are selling, is the same size, the same features, the same characteristics, the same everything, you sell exactly what your competitors sell, you really have to have a damn good reason why your price should be different. Because if you are selling the exact same thing like your competitors, the recommended pricing strategy is to match your competitors' pricing. Because whether you buy from my competitors or you buy from me is the same price. So that is the recommended strategy when somebody is comparing you to your competitors. But if you are different from your competitors, particularly if it is not obvious, when somebody tells you are expensive, that is an opportunity for you to enlighten, inform, and educate them and show them how you are different from your competitors. So you can't just run to a discount. You have that is an opening for you to explain why and how you are different from your competitors. If you are not able to show how you are different, it will be difficult for the potential customer to rationalize paying a higher price for something they can get for a lower price. The only way to justify it is that, oh, this business is different. Their product can actually do this, and this, but all these other competitors cannot do it. Oh, this product actually lasts longer than this other product. This product actually does the job faster than this other product. So based on that improvement, based on that difference, I can justify paying 10% more, 20% more, 100% more for this product or this service over this competitor. So unless you don't have any difference between what you sell and what other people sell, then you are the one at fault. Your price should not be higher. In fact, let me even give you an example. Since the deregulation of the price of petrol in Nigeria, you would assume that petrol, most of which is imported into the country, all of them are the same. All of them are the same. So whether you buy from this petrol station or buy from this other petrol station, you are buying the same product. So all of them should be at the same price. I need you to realize what's going on here. Before the regulation, the government set the price. Everybody sold at the same price. All of a sudden, government said, you can set your price, of course, with some ceiling, right? But below the ceiling, all of you can set your price. So what started going on is that the NNPC filling stations sell the cheapest. NNPC filling stations sell the cheapest. So if you're looking at the market, you would assume that everybody will start buying only from NNPC filling stations, that nobody will go to all these other filling stations. But that's not the reality. That's not the reality. Now, there are some people who will only buy from NNPC filling stations, but for some reason, either the NNPC filling stations don't always have petrol to sell, the crowds are always very long, they appear to be more disorganized, or whatever reason. You find that people are still buying from other petrol stations that even sell at significantly higher prices. Why? Because people buy for different reasons. Price is not the only reason why people buy. And if you are making this mistake, you will be leaving a lot of money on the table and you're just running to discounts. People don't just buy just because of price. And this petrol scenario is a clear example and proof. Some people buy for convenience. They will buy from the petrol station that is closest to where they live, that doesn't have long queues and stuff like that. Some will buy brand. Oh, it is that company. It's Connell's filling station. Oh, it's AP. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Oh, it's Enyo. They buy according to brand. Why? Because there are certain expectations of the brand. I've even heard people say like their machines are newer and more modern. Their machines are more digital. Their meters are well calibrated. I know it. When I buy fuel from that petrol station, my tank is not full. But I find that when I buy from these people, their meters are okay. People buy for different reasons. So you cannot just assume that based on price alone, that you're equal to your competitors. And the reason why potential customers make this mistake is that the most visible information about a business is their price. Price is the most visible piece of information about a business. So that's why potential customers can make the mistake of comparing one business to another business just on the basis of price alone. And that can be a mistake. So when people tell you your price is expensive, and you're like, how? And they tell you that other business sells this, that other business sells this, that is an opening for you to enlighten, inform, and educate the customer and justify how you're different. Because until you show how you're different, it will be difficult for that person to justify the higher price you're charging them. The third excuse, which is that you are expensive, and when you ask why am I expensive, is based on their assumptions. Is it not just dry cleaning? Is it not just cleaning? Is it not just this? Is it not just that? So people have certain assumptions about things based on their lived experiences, what they have heard, what they have seen, or something that happened to them in the past. If somebody is assuming that you should not be a certain price because their expectation is different from your pricing, it is also a way, an opening for you to show them why the value is justified. That's one way you can explain to them, this is the value I provide. These are the things I can actually do for you. By using my service, I can actually cut down the time you are spending on this problem by 50%. By using this service, this thing you used to get done in 2 weeks, I can get it done for you in 2 days. And the person will be like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. By the time you explain what you can do, the person starts to say, oh, really? The assumptions I made are actually wrong. The value you offer actually justifies the price. Now that you've explained to me what this product can do for me, what this service can do for me, I now have a better, my assumptions are now updated. Oh, I didn't know you could do it this fast. I didn't know this product was so reliable. I didn't know it was. That's one way you can do it. Another easy way of doing it is you can say, oh, is this price? But that's your neighbor has bought it. That's your competitor. That is what he's using. When you show the person the other people that are already using the product, the principle of social proof comes in. What social proof means is that people are more likely to do what other people are doing. And it's true, because we are social creatures. We like to mirror. We don't want to be the ones who appear to be missing out. That's why selling things based on status, that's why it works a lot. Nobody wants to be the one who is the outcast. All of us want to fit in. The reason why many people buy the iPhone is exactly for that reason. Everybody wants to fit in. Everybody wants to appear to be in vogue, right? You can say, okay, it might be expensive, but your competitor is using it. Oh, Mr. Jonathan bought it the other day. Mr. Farouk bought it the other day. And then, okay. So if Farouk can buy this, if Jonathan can buy this, then, maybe he has. So these are ways you can play it. When people have wrong perceptions or assumptions about what you sell, you can either inform them so that they have a better understanding of the value you provide, or you can use social proof and show them that their values are actually misjudged. These other people that are important to them and relevant to them are already using the product. So you don't want to be the one who is missing out. That's one way to do it. The fourth reason why people will say your product or your service is expensive is that compared to the problem they want to solve, or compared to the inconvenience they are suffering, the price of your product is too high. What typically happens is that if you've set the right price, and I will assume that you have a better understanding of that problem. I have this in my line of work. I support business owners and entrepreneurs. Many business owners underestimate the cost of their problems. So, for example, you don't have capable employees, and you're just getting by. You're doing the work by yourself, and you're taking pride in. You say things like, and this one really, really cracks me up. You say things like, if you really want something to be done, you do it by yourself. That is the standing principle, the cardinal rule of one man and one woman businesses. They are a one man and one woman business because they strongly believe that if you really want something to be done well, you do it yourself. You cannot even grow a business with that kind of thinking. Because for a business to grow, if you're doing well in Lagos, you want to set up a location in Abuja and Port Harcourt, you cannot be in 3 locations at the same time. You have to use leverage. There are different types of leverage, but there's human capital leverage. You have to depend on human beings. So what it means is that I have to educate these people and let them know that you are missing out on a lot of potential. You're missing out on potential profits. You're missing out on growth. What happens the day you break down? You're not able to show up. What will happen the day you're no longer strong enough to run this business? You're actually running You're actually self-employed. You're not a business owner. You are self-employed because the moment you are not active, the business dies, right? So the benefit is you need to build a business that is like an asset, like an engine, that the moment you put in petrol is running. You don't need to be there to do anything. So I have to enlighten them and let them know that, there's a value in building a system, and you are missing out on a lot of potential sales, potential profit, potential peace of mind, less stress. By the time I show them the real cost of the problem that they have, that's when they realize that my price is not, in fact, the price that they thought was expensive is now a bargain, because I've now showed them all the things they are suffering and they are losing, but they were not aware of it. That they were underestimating the cost of their problem, which is quite common. So if you find that the person you are selling to is underestimating the cost of the problem or the inconvenience that they are facing right now, they can then appreciate your problem. They can then appreciate the pricing that they thought was expensive. Or somebody comes and says, but this thing you are selling this thing for, I can do it by myself. I can do it myself. It won't cost me anything. I can do it. And I'm like, you can do it yourself. But is this what you're supposed to be doing? Will you not earn more if you focus on things that are more strategic instead of dealing with this operational thing? If you're more strategic, you focus on relationships, you focus on deals that will bring in more money. Why are you wasting your time on this operational nuisance activity just because you can do it and you don't want to pay anybody? So that is where the benefit comes from. When the potential customer realizes the cost of the problem that they are facing, then and only then will they see your price for what it really is. So when people say your price is too expensive, don't be the person who just quickly runs out and pulls out a discount. It's like you don't want to have an important and valuable conversation that has just been presented to you by that piece of information. Your price is too expensive. Could it mean that you're comparing me to your budget? I've told you what you can do. Are you comparing me to my competitor prices? I've told you what you can do. Are you comparing me to your assumptions or perceptions of what the value that this thing can bring to you is? I've told you what to do. Are you comparing me to the cost of your problem? It could actually be that you're underestimating the cost of your problem, and I've told you what to do, right? So I hear many times, and in all this I've said, there is no discounts here. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to deal with before you even start talking about discounts. And in most of these cases, you end up getting people to respect your prices because they now have a better understanding of the value you bring to the table. They now have more respect for you because they see how you are different from your competitors. They are able to spend that price and keep buying from you, because they don't see you as a more trusted person to buy from because of what your product can do. And because you're not having these conversations and you're just quickly running to discounts, imagine all the sales you are losing, all the profits you're losing, all the opportunities for loyalty, because these kinds of people that have a better understanding of what you do, they have the potential to become loyal customers. You are losing that opportunity because you're just rushing to discount. You just want to sell now. Okay, you sell now. That person buys today, doesn't really understand how you are different, how you are better. And they just keep on sampling. They buy from you today, they buy from your competitor tomorrow, because there's no reason to stick with you. So I hope, based on this point I've made, that you now know what to do whenever you hear, but your price is too expensive. If you are seeing this for the first time, if you are seeing me for the first time, my name is John Paul Iwuoha. I'm a business strategy specialist. What it means is that I solve tough business problems. I make it easier and faster for people to build a business. In fact, what it really is to a man on the street is that I eat business problems for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is what I do on a daily basis. So that thing that could seem like a big and intimidating problem in your business, whether it is raising money to start and grow your business, whether it is improving the profits in your business, many businesses are running, but they're not making profit. They're just open for open sake. They pay rents, they pay employees, they pay suppliers, but the owner of the business is not taking anything home or even taking much home. Or it's about operational inefficiencies. Your business is leaking, either in terms of cost or efficiencies. Or your business needs to get to the next level. You're at that point where you need to grow. You need to become serious about growth. These are just some of the examples of problems that I help business owners crack. Whether you are about to start a business, or you have already started a business and you are drowning in the problems of your business, or you're about to grow your business and you're missing out on opportunity. These are the things that I can help you do. And if you're watching this in August, What it means is that you stumbled on an opportunity, because unlike unlike training programs where I ask you for a lot of money, you pay a lot of money, and I train you and you go. I understand that business problems are not that way. Business problems for a business owner are daily challenges. So what my program is, the Business Mentorship Group. The Business Mentorship Group provides ongoing support to people who are starting their business, people who are running their business, and people who want to grow their business. You are getting daily support, and you're getting inputs that will help you improve the quality of your decisions. And that's because one of the biggest killers of businesses is assumptions and bad decisions. Assumptions and bad decisions. So you have me in your corner just as you're about to make that decision. You have me in your corner to validate some of the assumptions you've made with your business. But unfortunately, I cannot work with everybody. This is a limited opportunity. I work with a limited number of people because that's the best way I can give them value. And then there's a deadline for this. By 31st of August, the members of the BMG will be admitted into the BMG and we'll lock the doors. We will only accept new people if there are vacant seats, if some people leave for whatever reason, or until our next recruitment in 2025, which will be like the next time I open the doors of the Business Mentorship Group. So if you are facing business challenges, you just learned what I've just given you now. I've given it to you for free, right? Imagine what I can do for you, right? If you are in my group, you may not recognize yourself or your business by this time next year. So this is for free. If you cannot afford the service, you and before I forget, the BMG is not for everybody. You actually have to qualify before you join. So you might be seeing the link on your screen right now. Follow that link to find out if you qualify. And if you qualify, congratulations, you're going to join the waiting room. And I'm hoping you're one of the lucky people who gets into the Business Mentorship Group. If you're watching this and you've applied to join the BMG and you're not yet in the WhatsApp waiting room, WhatsApp group waiting room, I urge you to send a DM. And my assistant is going to ask you for your details and then manually add you to the group. So I'm not sure how you missed that opportunity, but after answering all the questions, you're supposed to see a link that will lead you to the waiting room of the Business Mentorship Group. So if you are not in that WhatsApp group yet, but you've answered all the questions in the questionnaire and you qualify, send a DM and my assistant is going to hop on it and add you manually to the WhatsApp group. So don't forget, there's no such thing as your price is too expensive. I urge you to defend your pricing instead of just running away and giving a quick discount. That's not an intelligent way of running a business. You're going to be missing out on a lot of opportunities and you'll be shooting yourself in the foot. Discounting is a strategy for something else. And I hope as you watch my videos, you might be lucky and you watch one of those videos where I'm going to talk about the right times to apply discount and the best way to use a discount. Discounting is a poor strategy for somebody asks you, oh, but your product is more expensive, your product is too expensive or is expensive, and the next thing you're offering a 10% discount or a 50% discount or a 5% discount. No. Now that you've watched this video, you're more enlightened, you now know what to do, and I hope you use this to build a bigger and better business. So this has been John Paul Iwuoha, the business strategist, the one who loves to eat business problems for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Very tasty to me. You might not love the taste of your problems, but that's my job. Bring them over so I can have fun. Cheers.